What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Day 49 of daily vlogging. Let's go. I would yell, but I have a mic on. Whoop, whoop. Let me give it the rap air horn. Been awesome, guys. Thank you for 49 days. I honestly wish I'd done this sooner. You know, it is difficult, but the rewards are immense, and it's all because of you guys. Thank you for watching. Everybody that comments, please leave a comment today. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know what's happening. This is just one of those talking videos. Today, I'm going to talk about 10 things that I would have told myself when I was 25. I'm 52 now. No Botox. Not yet. When I was 25 years old, I was living in New York City. I was trying to be a stand-up. I had finished my job at Saturday Night Live. I was working at MTV, and I was going out every night doing shows, trying to learn stand-up comedy and characters and stuff like that. And the thing that I would have told myself, the most important thing that I would have told myself, was to take time to learn what you're doing, whatever your craft is. So for me, I wish I had taken acting classes more seriously. This video turns into my regrets. I wish I'd talk. No, I wish I had taken improv classes more seriously. But at the time, I was getting jobs and stuff, and I was like, thought I was hot shit. I don't want this video to just be for act, but whatever your thing is, when you're 25 years old, you really need to be putting in the time. I wish I'd learned business, and I still haven't. Which is why I owe more on this car than it's worth. Was over at CarMax the other day, and wasn't good. Got some high mileage on this bad boy. That would be my first thing. Learn. And give yourself some grace. I think there's so much pressure. My son is 20. He's in a band. He's in New York City, and you guys saw some of his band on one of our vlogs last week. The band's called Nudie. We had this conversation the other night that was so cool. He said to me, he goes, I'm trying to strike the balance between, you know, ambition and having the love of something. And I thought that was so profound for a young kid to say, because I certainly wasn't like that. I was just like, I gotta get it. I gotta get somewhere. I gotta do something. Get a mentor. I never had a mentor. That's something I really should have done. I guess I did work for Norm Macdonald for a while, so I learned a lot there. I left Saturday Night Live, so I didn't have that forever. The other thing too is like having the love of something. Find your passion when you're 25. It's easy for me to say that. Like, I wanted to be an entertainer since I was like 5 years old. I remember when I told my parents that I wanted to be a comedian, and I was like 18 years old. I was like, I want to go work at Saturday Night Live in New York. I remember my father goes, "A comedian?" He goes, "But your sister's the funny one," like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she was the funny one. So that was something. And then I went when I was 21. I went down, I interviewed at Dateline, and I interviewed at Saturday Night Live. I remember I wore a 3-piece suit, and I went up to Saturday Night Live. As soon as I walked off the elevator, I was like, "Oh my God, you idiot. Why did you?" My mother took me to Marshall. She was like, "We're going to make you look so good for this Saturday Night Live interview." And I was in this like 3-piece suit. And as soon as I got off the elevator, like, of course, like, you know, like Saturday Night Live, it's like counterculture. It's like people are just like, no one cares what you're dressing like, you know? And that's the whole point of Saturday Night Live, like wear sweats. But I remember I was there, and one thing I did right, I went into the interview, and the woman said to me, she was like, "Okay, you know, you seem okay." She goes, "Hey, a lot of the kids can't be here every day. They only want to do like one day a week. Can you be here every day?" I was like, "Yeah. I can be here every day. I'll be here every day." And she was like, "Okay, you got it. You got the job." And I was like, oh my God. I had no way to be there every day. I couldn't. I lived in Boston, and I didn't have an apartment in New York. I was like, I couldn't figure it out. So I had to figure it out. I had to somehow get a place to stay in New York, and I figured it out, and I was there every day, and I worked at Saturday Night Live. And I got to work with Adam Sandler and Chris Farley and Will Ferrell and Tracy Morgan and so many great people. And I learned a lot. I worked with this guy named Jim Downey, who had worked on David Letterman, who's like this. He's like this guru he's been the head writer at SNL and at Letterman. And so that was like really an amazing experience. So for you guys at home, be of value to people, and it will come back to you. Another thing I want to talk about is like money. I would have told myself to not be flashy, to not like care about clothes. I I just wasted so much money on clothes. I would buy like fancy things. So save your money. Don't get into clothes. What else? Drinking. I never had a problem with drinking. I just never liked it. It's funny. People will be like, I'll get like a Coke. I'll get Diet Coke or something. They're like, oh, you don't drink? And I'm like, yeah, I don't drink. And they'll be like, oh, what? What happened? Did you burn in a ball of flames at one point? And I'm like, no, I just never had the taste for alcohol, which I was really lucky. But I know that are people out there that do love alcohol. And I would just say that it's a complete waste of time. Alcohol and drugs, complete waste of time. I did acid when I was 21 and like my personality completely changed. I was really into sports like all my life. All my life, I was so into sports. I knew everything. I grew up in Boston. I knew every statistic. My family would quiz me. I'd be like, oh, he had a 349 batting average, 49 home runs, 22 doubles, 412 total bases. Like I was that kid. And all the way up to my teens. Then I did acid in college. And then my personality completely changed. One day I picked up the sports page and I was like, oh my God, I don't care about any of this. So yeah, no drugs. Oh, and regarding the drinking, now that's not to say one mistake I've definitely made is like not being social. And I think that it's really important, even though, and this is very hard to do, you still have to go out and go to parties and maintain relationships because that is such a big part. We talk about that on the Views podcast a lot about like how going out brings you together and helps you in business and stuff. So my father always used to say, no more than 2 drinks, never more than 2 drinks. And he does that to this day, which I think is a good policy. If you're going to drink at all, this is really important. It's like, you have to be doing something in your life that you're like passionate about. And when you are, you'll feel like you don't need drugs and alcohol. If that makes sense, that's my experience at least. So yeah, so definitely you still have to go out. You still have to maintain relationships. Let's move to that one. It's really important to, especially nowadays, is to text your friends all the time and let them know, especially if like, say your friend like does something that was great. They had a win or whatever. Like today I saw Ilya posted a video last night and it was like a new style of video. And I watched it last night and it was great. I made sure this morning, text him. The video was great. Great job. Keep going. Blah, 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 blah. That stuff is so important. It's good for you to put that out there. And I promise you, if you can practice and get in that mindset, that kind of stuff comes back to you. I can't tell you how many opportunities I've had just because I'll reach out and I'll say, hey, I really love this. I swear that is 90% of like your success in life is showing up for people, getting there on time. And especially if you let someone know like, hey, I really like this, they're instantly like, if someone says to me, oh my God, I really liked your pilot, right? And we all know that not everybody loved my pilot. When someone texts me that, it's not only really nice, but it lets me know like, oh, this person gets what I'm doing. Maybe I could use this person for something. So make sure you're really, 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 really good at that. Relationships, in terms of romantic relationships, I'm not the best at that, but I'll tell you what I've learned. And it took me so long to learn it. And guys, I see it so often now in LA. You'll see like all the people that I know that are in their 20s and 30s, a lot of them are single and they're like, I don't know, I can't meet anybody, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to tackle that there here today because I honestly don't know why there's like a dating problem with younger people. But I can say that, you know, guys, when you're younger, you do want to like build yourself up. I can only really speak to the guys. Build yourself up, make yourself so strong that when you do meet the right person, and I've made this mistake before, like I've been in relationships and I didn't feel good about myself. And so the relationship was going to fail. So now I'm in this, I've been married for 3 years. It's the best relationship of my life. And But that's because I spent 6 or 7 years by myself. Sometimes you need to go all the way down. And for me, I was like alone for a long time. Once I got to the bottom of being alone, I was like, it's scary. But when I got there, I was like, huh, that's not so bad. I'm like, I'm alone. I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm eating a can of Pringles. This is pretty good. And then that made me so strong that when I did meet somebody, I had like a healthy mindset. You can stand on your own feet. So no matter what happens with this other person, if this other person that you meet wants to leave, you're still going to be okay. Money. Did we talk about money? Yeah, we did. Money wise, don't buy a house. Don't get into a big thing with a house and a mortgage. I'm in it right now. I bought my house. I should have never bought my house. It's way too expensive. I'll say that. And that's just for me. Like, I guess that's more of a personal thing. Like, I'm not somebody that needs like fancy things or whatever. And not at this point in my life. I would just be careful what you spend. If you can stay at home, which I was talking about with this with Naveen. She was like, no, don't say that. People need to move out of their house and stand on their own 2 feet. But for me, if I was talking to my 25-year-old self, I would have lived at home and just saved money for a while. But I guess it really wouldn't have been possible because I was working in New York. Let's see, what else would I tell my 25-year-old self? Working out. Oh, I wish I had started working out when I was 25. I wish I had taken care of my body. I always hear this quote from Adam Sandler that he always says that you should stretch out. He wished he had stretched out after all the basketball he's played. And that is true. So now I'm like fighting a tougher game at 52, where I'm like, I don't have the body that I want, and it's so hard to get it back. Of course, we know about like eating and all the sugar and stuff like that. Don't eat sugar, but yeah, work out every day. And I just think in general, like, just don't beat yourself up. You're 25. You're still figuring out, especially for guys, they mature later, and women are much smarter, obviously. Take it easy. Don't be hard on yourself. Everything takes time. The final thing I'll say is take risks. Take risks. You have to just take as many risks as you can. Obviously, don't break the law. I used to have this thing in stand-up. I still get it sometimes. I would think of a bit and I'd be like, oh, that's funny, like that. And then I would get this awful feeling in my stomach. And I'd be like, ugh. I'm like, I gotta go do that bit on stage. And I would be like sick over it because I'm like, I have to go try this bit and it might not be funny. I feel like you have to just be uncomfortable. You have to try things. You have to go out and put yourself in uncomfortable positions and you will be rewarded. My mother used to say, listen to the tiny man inside of you. She gave me this advice last Christmas. She goes, remember, there's a little tiny man. Listen to the little man right inside of you. He will guide you. My mom's like Yoda. That'd be funny if they did Star Wars with my mom. Luke, use the fast! That's today's video. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Put some stuff in the comments. I do answer comments. I've got like 3 vlogs on my computer ready to post. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. I love you. I love you. I love you. Listen to the little man inside you. Okay, bye-bye.